This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 7th year. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Bennett, and this is the Ramble, and we're here until midnight tonight. In the United States of America, and home of the free, land of the brave, and a big fat fucking lie. Okay, I just thought I'd add that because I got Phil coming on here, and I'm not about ready to just, I'm hello Phil, how are you? How you doing?
Right.
Oh, here are two people waiting in the waiting room there. Okay. Nobody call it yet.
Alex is waiting.
Yeah. Anyway.
22 on the live chat.
22 on the live chat?
Yeah, it says top chat 22.
No, it's 22 people are watching right now.
Yeah.
Which means nobody watches this goddamn thing, so why are we even doing it?
You tell me. Your mayoral race is the most exciting thing happening right now. Curtis Sliwa is one of the Republican candidates. There's two.
Yeah.
And Eric Adams, the guy that I would support, he's a Democrat and most likely going to win.
That's why I didn't vote for him.
Now, who would you vote for? Yang?
No. Well, we get this first, second, third, fourth, fifth.
Right. How does that work?
I went for this Garcia woman or whatever her name was. She was recommended by the New York Times, and I figured, what the hell? I'll go along with that.
Is that the one that Yang teamed up with?
No.
Which one did he?
I don't know who he teamed up with. Yang. I mean, don't pull my Yang, okay?
He might hand you some money, though.
I mean, why would I want Yang? The guy is just not a New Yorker, all right? And he hasn't held any political office, and we should have learned that one a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
So I couldn't even bring myself to vote for him, even for number 5.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. He's the one for basic income.
Well, that's very nice. All these guys, they can promise anything they want to. They can say what they're for. As to whether they're ever going to be able to get it or not is the larger question, Yeah. So, who knows? So.
Yeah. There's other stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
What's her name? Kamala Harris.
Mm-hmm.
She went to Guatemala.
That was weeks ago.
Yeah, but did you hear what she said?
She went there weeks ago. I heard what she said weeks ago.
Yeah, she says, "Oh, don't come, don't come," to the Guatemalans.
Well, she didn't say it that way. Okay, you're embellishing on it. You're making it sound like she was in the middle of a sexual act.
Yeah. Well, that's probably what it was.
Yeah. You love to make fun of these people because you don't like them, but they've only been in office for a short amount of time, so how you can have an opinion about them? I don't even have an opinion about them yet,
They're doing more damage than I care to...
Like what?
Well, it's not just them, but it's Biden and what's going on in the Congress right now with S1 and the Senate. It seems as though there's a 50-50 split. They want to do away with the filibuster, which means there'd be no more partisanship.
Yeah.
They want to add 2 senators from Washington, D.C., which is not the way Washington, D.C. was.
Well, Washington should be a state.
Well, they should give Washington back to Maryland, who loaned it to this country.
But no, I think that it should be its own city now. It should be its own state because it has so many people with so many problems that cannot be attended to by making it a district like it is. Make the Capitol, make the White House, make them part of a special district, and leave the rest of it to people.
The whole idea of the founding fathers was that it not be a state, so that it could be the capital without having the sway one way or another.
Well, there's no sway. I mean, to begin with, the capital of the United States wasn't Washington, D.C.
It was Philadelphia.
It was Philadelphia, and that was a state. So, big deal.
That's why they moved it to Washington.
Yeah, well, you will believe in anything that makes easier for your side to exist. I mean, it's like this whole thing about voting now, and about the different things you can do with voting, and the voting rights of the citizens. The Republicans want everything that would literally limit people's ability to vote.
You mean like making it fair and honest?
No. How's it fair and honest? Tell me.
When you send out ballots willy-nilly.
No. Do
they live there or they don't live there?
You're jumping on something which is a myth to begin with. It's an absolute myth. Yes, they're sending out ballots to people who are registered to vote.
Yes, but many of them don't live at those addresses anymore, and so therefore they're unverified.
Well, then they can't. Then whoever gets that ballot can't vote because they've got to prove who they are.
In Georgia, they just took 100,000 people off that roster.
Yeah. Because they want the Republicans to win.
They moved.
They want to keep black people from voting. They are the most transient population you have.
That's, as you said, that's racist. How could you say that they're a transient population? They're like everybody else. They get up in the morning, they go out, they work, they earn a living, they kiss their kids.
Some of them don't have jobs because they can't get them.
There's a lot of other people that don't have jobs either.
I don't have a job.
Yeah, well, you've got a future in.
And my name's Schwarzman, so I'm a black man. If you realize that, that's truly a black man.
Black man, yes, that's true.
Yeah.
But as I said, you do have a future in floor covering sales. So
well, I'm planning on
it. if you come out here, I got a job for you.
Yeah.
And let's see.
I just spent $1,000 on Amazon.
Yeah.
To buy four 8 terabyte hard drives for my RAID.
That's what I have.
You have 8 terabytes in them?
I have 5 8 terabyte.
5 8 terabytes. Well, I'm going to have 4 8 terabytes.
Yeah.
I decided to go to the 8 terabytes because I need more space.
You're going to make it a RAID 6?
No.
So you still end up with about 24.
Nobody knows what we're talking about, so let's not even. I just said I
Nobody's listening either.
And
so.
I also got a new Echo. I got one more Echo.
Really? I bought a Fire Stick from Amazon. I had gotten the Chromecast, and it's too hard to use. I hooked it up.
Why don't you just use the Roku?
Because I can't get a Google TV on the Roku.
Oh, you will be soon. Don't worry. They'll eventually let.
Well, now I got the Fire Stick, and I have the Roku too, so I'll just put them on 2 different HDMI ports, and if there's things on the Roku I want to see, I can see them. There's really nothing on there that I want to see.
The only reason I'm hating Roku lately is it used to be you got a Roku, you put on all the apps, you watch stuff.
Right.
Now they're trying to upsell you to other stuff. Hey, here's the Roku channel. Hey, why don't you pay for movies on the Roku channel? And I'm going, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I bought something that once I use it, I just want to be able to get full use out of it and not suddenly have you upselling me all kinds of crap.
Now, I do watch YouTube on the Roku.
Yeah.
And it's making me watch a million commercials. I thought you said that you had YouTube with no commercials by paying a couple of extra bucks.
No, I don't.
No.
I don't care. And I don't think that does away with the commercials. I think it just allows you to have a certain amount of services that you wouldn't otherwise have.
Oh, it's getting worse and worse. I was watching a news thing that put 7 commercials in a row. 7.
Oh no,
How-
that is the channel itself that you were doing. You're probably going to like CNN on Roku, and then
Yes.
they run like X number of spots. They're their own spots. If you go to YouTube, usually it's one five
Two,
5 second
maybe.
spot. Maybe it's a 10-second spot. Maybe it's a 2-minute spot, but they let you get out of it after 5 seconds. So but I don't mind that. That's a small amount.
Sit there with the remote control, waiting for the
Yeah.
skip
So,
ahead.
what are you lazy?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
If there was a way that I could pay an extra $2, $4, $5 a month and not have to do that, I would do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah.
So
Hey,
what?
what?
Yeah. What
What?
did you get that you have no commercials?
No, I didn't say that.
Something else you
No,
have.
I bought myself a new Echo today.
Oh yeah.
Oh, excuse me, I just said it, and now it's expecting.
I haven't gotten an Echo yet. Or
I got a new one for the kitchen. It's their new 8, and it actually has a camera that kind of centers you in the picture wherever if you move over to the side, it'll center you in the picture if you wanted to.
That's
And
cute.
but the sound is better. The camera is higher quality. The screen is higher quality. It's really, really terrific. So now I have an Echo in my.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this? In my kitchen,
Yeah.
my living room, my bedroom, my guest room, my office right here. Okay, and now the bathroom.
So does your Echo say, "Don't come, don't come"?
No. But I can now turn on and off the lights anywhere in the house from any room in the house.
What's wrong with the light switch?
Because have you been to my place? We don't. Do you know how many light switches I have in this?
I think I remember you saying there was like 1 or 2.
Two.
Yeah.
2 light switches. The rest are sconces. But for instance, I can say, Echo, turn off studio. Let's see if you can see a difference in the light. See the light went down a little bit?
A little bit. Yeah.
Echo, turn on studio.
Yeah, I see a little difference.
Yeah. I mean, I could turn this off and then you'd see it. Wait a minute. Echo, well, look at that. All that with no. Echo, turn on, off studio. See?
Wow, it's dark.
Yeah. But anyways, I'll turn
I-
that
I
back on.
see you
Echo,
on
turn on
red.
studio.
I see you're on the red.
I'm on the red. Yeah, that's a red. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're up to blue. What's blue?
Yeah.
The hardest?
Yeah. So
These
far,
these are things we old guys get for arthritis.
it's great. You know,
I don't know. It hasn't helped me that much. You know what I did yesterday?
yeah.
I had a big thrill. I had the one thrill that I have in my life. It didn't used to be, but one thrill I have in my life. I went to my urologist.
Yeah.
I hate urologists.
Yeah.
You know, I've never had a urologist I liked, but I finally found one.
Are they still cutting themselves on your prostate?
Well, wait a minute. Hold on a second. So I go into him because here's what happened. I had a cancer operation last year, and you're supposed to get this PSA test about every 3 months after the prostate thing, right?
I'm due.
Huh?
I'm due for one.
Yeah. So I got a hold of my doctor who did the operation. I said, shouldn't I have a PSA test? And I wrote them using my chart, which is the Mount Sinai messaging system. Never heard back from them. Finally, I write to the guy's nurse, and he says, "Oh, we don't use my chart. Well, if you want it, okay. If you want to go use your urologist, go use him." She didn't care. She didn't give a shit.
They already got paid.
So I wrote to my doctor, all right, my urologist, and I said, "What should I do about this?" He said, "Basically, they don't give a shit." He said, there's no need for you to go back to them ever again, ever.
Really?
Yeah. He says, come to me, we'll do the test, you'll get it, we'll get the results the next day, and you'll be in and out of here, okay? So I figured I'd do it. So I went down. I went down to him, and he did the full thing. I didn't think he was going to do the full thing. I didn't think he was going to stick his finger up my ass and
The full Monty.
and go for the prostate because I got seeds in there now.
Right.
But I said, don't cut yourself on the seeds. He says, no. He says, we don't feel the actual prostate. I didn't realize this. He said we feel the membrane between the rectum and the prostate, and that's where we feel it. Okay. Okay. So I said, well, good. So he went and he did that, and then they drew some blood, and he said, I'll get back to you as soon as I get the results. I'll send you an email. And so all last night, of course, I am apoplectic about this because every time I've ever gotten one of these tests, I worry about it for the whole next day or 2 days or 3 days or how long it takes to get it back. Huh?
There's false negatives too, or false positives.
Yeah, and they're false negatives too. But anyway, the PSA is a test they have that if it's higher, they think maybe you have cancer. That's the best way to put it. And if it's lower, you're okay.
Yeah.
So the first time I got one, it was like a 0.2. So he took the test, and I got it back, and guess what?
0.
Pretty much non-discernible, non-detectable.
No cancer detectable.
No PSA detected.
Wow.
0. Zilcho. And this is after about a year and 5 months or something or 4 months after I got
mine are supposed to be no detectable.
Yeah.
And then over last summer, they detected some, so they put me through 7 weeks of radiation.
Mm-hmm.
And, now,
well, I think probably this is something I probably shouldn't worry about anymore.
I think you're good.
I think I'm pretty good. And this doctor is just the best. I mean, he's just terrific.
Huh? Is this short fingers?
No, this is not short fingers. No.
Oh, okay.
No, this guy's really good. You know what it is? I've never had a urologist. And I've been told by doctors urologists are just a weird bunch of guys, And you'd be weird, too, if all day long all you were doing was sticking fingers up asses and testing urine samples,
Yeah. I don't know why they go into that.
Every time women don't. I don't know if women have this happen to them, but every time a guy goes to a urologist, the first thing they do before they send you into the doctor is they have you pee in a cup.
Right.
They always want to check your urine, And I always had blood in my urine, small amount, but blood in my urine. And after a while, I told them it's just normal for me, So anyway, but you go in there and it's a weird profession, okay? And I was told by one doctor, oh, they're just weird, no wonder you don't like them. And I never found a urologist I liked. I must have gone to 5 of them, and I hated every last one of them. And then I came up with this guy, and he's just a gem. He's a really decent human being, and he really cares. Huh?
He's got to be to do what he does.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, he really is terrific and nice and considerate. And, he got back to me this morning. He wrote the email at 8:45. So he when he first got in the office, he probably saw the test. Immediately he sent me a note. And it was wonderful. So he says, you don't have to come back for 11 months. Or 9 months. We'll do another one in 9 months.
Great. Yeah, I need to go in and do one because I've had a couple since the radiation. They've been negative.
Yeah.
But this prostate stuff is a pain in the ass. A friend of mine.
A pain in the ass. Thank you very much. We'll be here all night, ladies and gentlemen, and have a.
So a friend of mine had to take a plane flight. He's going to Israel. He's working, and the company that he's working for got him a coach fare and didn't get him an aisle seat. And he says, I have to get up and pee every hour. And I don't know.
I say this to any guys out there, and when you reach about 60, this starts happening. You start realizing you got up twice last night to go to the bathroom. and then it's 3 times a night, and then it's 4 times a night. Before you know it, you can't go without peeing. You're working, you're getting up every 20 minutes and going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
As soon as that happens, just go to see a urologist. I'll give you the name of mine if you live in New York, because he's great, okay? You can just go to a urologist. He'll check you out. He'll say, yeah, your prostate's getting large. He'll give you some medicine for it that will help shrink it. There are several different medicines that they can give you, one of which is will give you a hard-on.
Yeah.
It's meant for that, and it also
Cialis.
it's the generic for Cialis, which is called Tadalafil or something like that.
Yeah.
And just do it. Just do it. Don't be afraid of it, because I mean it's more annoying to have to take a pee every 5 minutes. Phil used to drive down the road with a jar.
Well, every once in a while, I still need it.
Really?
You get those emergency pees.
Well, you also had your prostate removed,
right.
which I didn't. Mine's still there. Doesn't do much of anything, but it's still there.
I couldn't do the seeds because my prostate was too large.
Yeah, they were afraid that maybe plants would flourish in there.
No, they said the seeds only work if it's under. I don't know what the measurement is, but it's 60, and mine was 135.
Well, he did the whole thing. I had radiation and I had the seeds.
Yeah.
By the same guy, by the way, who did Rudy Giuliani.
Right, and Rudy Giuliani has endorsed Curtis Sliwa.
Well, good for him. That's the kiss of death for Curtis.
Now, how come de Blasio's not running again? I thought he was going to run again.
No, he can't. I don't think anymore. I don't know if that's been done away with. That that 3-term thing. That I think Bloomberg got an exception. It wasn't the rule.
I see.
But Curtis Sliwa, I know Curtis. I mean, Curtis I'm a fan. He's a fan of mine.
Right. He's the head of the Guardian Angels.
He was. I don't know if he still is.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I never liked the Guardian Angels. I thought they were a piece of shit. I don't believe in vigilantes. Okay, somehow it doesn't appeal to me. But and I never had great respect for Curtis Sliwa because of his politics. And one day, his producer calls me and says, "Curtis wants you to be on his show," and I went, "Why?" And he said, "He's a fan."
Really?
So I said, "Okay." So we went on, both knowing that neither of us agreed with each other's politics, but we'd respect it, and we had a nice conversation. So.
Hey, what's that stuff going on? I think it's in Texas, where they're coming up with some things where children can't get shots like testosterone if it's a woman, if it's a girl and they want to be a guy, transgender things, and they're stopping children from doing it. I guess there are children as young as 12 that are doing these transitions, and so now they're coming up with laws saying, well, if you want to do it as an adult, you can do it, but as a child.
Well, I think if a parent lets them do it, then maybe they have a doctor who agrees with it, that they can do it, And also, if they're doing hormones and things like that, the minute you stop them,
Yeah.
you just revert to the way you were.
What I was hearing on the news was that it was not reversible. That it does damage that can't be reversed.
Well,
I guess. Oh, you know what it is? It's when a woman has her uterus removed and
a hysterectomy.
Has a hysterectomy and a mastectomy.
Yeah, but they usually don't. They usually don't do that till after, they're 18. And I agree with you if you'd say maybe it's not a good idea to do that early, because even though these people probably will not change their mind, it's still it's a time in their life where they are changeable,
Yeah.
And
as that young, that's some of the stuff that's going on in the news today, and I heard there was something else. Oh, the city of Randolph, New Jersey, tried to eliminate all holidays from their calendar. So,
oh, by the way, Randolph, New Jersey, interesting factoid here, was named after Randolph Scott. Did you know that?
oh,
No, it wasn't. I was just giving you a bad time.
okay. Uh,
I could have left you with that information and you'd be going around telling everybody for the rest of your life. Randolph, New Jersey was named after Randolph Scott.
if that factoid ever came up in my life, I would doubt it.
If it ever came up on, Jeopardy,
Yeah, and then you'd make me lose.
you'd lose.
Yeah, lots of luck.
No, it
in me
was named after Lillian Randolph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Randolph Hearst.
Randolph Hearst was named after Randolph Hearst, right? But any other pieces of news that bothered you at all?
I thought it was interesting that there's backlash now on all of this wokeness. Where people are the school systems and are trying to be more and more correct, and now there's some backlash. So it looks like the pendulum might be swinging the other way.
So what did you do for Juneteenth?
Oh, I didn't do anything. I went to work. But Juneteenth and Cinco de Mayo were the two holidays at the police department that we always had riots. And I remember there was a Cinco de Mayo. I think I had my riot helmet on. I got hit by a rock, those are riot days, and there's a lot of shootings going on. There was even shootings in Richmond. Two people died, 7 wounded, but they were Guatemalans.
Well, I don't give a shit because I've decided this whole country is going to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't really give a crap.
There's going to be more holidays that the bank is closed than there are days in the year. You see, what happens is every time they have a national holiday, it's great that, these people are recognized and those people are recognized. And of course, Biden, when he was asked about Juneteenth, he thought it was the Tulsa massacre, and made some sort of statement that, that he didn't really know what
Most
Juneteenth
people didn't know what Juneteenth was. In fact, Charlie Wallace, who's black, said he didn't learn what Juneteenth was till he moved to Texas. Prior to that, he never heard of it. And I think it is the worst name for a holiday. I think that the name that should have probably been chosen, if they were going to be celebrating that, was Emancipation Day.
Yeah.
That would be a much better name than Juneteenth. What the fuck is Juneteenth?
It's Independence Day, they're saying. So,
No, but it's not Independence Day.
I know there is an Independence Day, and it's misleading. And I think you're right.
And I think by saying that day initiated independence for blacks in America is to negate the fact that blacks didn't get their freedom for many, many years until many, many years later, when they fought for it in the 60s, in the 50s and 60s. Up until then, they weren't really emancipated. They were enslaved in a whole different way.
Well, there was an amendment in the Constitution that took care of that.
That's fine, but it didn't do anything for them. They still were enslaved. They were still working as sharecroppers, things like that in the South. So how do you determine when emancipation took place? I think that my answer to all of that is, if you want to celebrate something, celebrate emancipation, not only for blacks, but for people all over the world, and the hope for emancipation for people who were still enslaved. How's that?
That's a nice thought.
That would make it a nice holiday, and it would be called Juneteenth.
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
What are you going to do on Juneteenth? Are you going to hold white sales?
Oh, yeah. Hey, you saw that stuff that I sent you saying that black on black crime.
And you sent me statistics from like 2008.
Well, no, the last one I sent you was 2018, and they're basically the same.
Yeah, but white on white crime was just as high. So,
Well,
Yes,
that's
it
what
was.
about.
Anyway, go back and look at those statistics. You read them in your way, I'll read them in mine. I gotta
Yeah.
go because we got people waiting to come on here. I'd ask you if you want to stay, but you probably don't want to.
Well, maybe later. I mean, I don't want you to yell at me.
No, I'm not gonna. Am I yelling at you now?
Oh, we get along now.
All
If I
right.
go
Well,
back,
stick
yell.
around. Stick around a little bit here. Let's just see here. Let me see here. Let me first of all, let me get rid of your name on there so that
Yeah, well,
we-
it's going to be there anyway when you bring in everybody else.
No, it's not. I just
In the
took it off.
box.
I just took it off.
Oh,
I just took it off. Okay. So I'll admit all. There are only three.
That's the big name.
There are only
The big-
three other people here.
I thought it was the Zoom name. That.
No.
Hey,
They-
look who's here.
There we go. There's Charlie, and there's Alan, and there's what is that? What is that?
And there's Phil Meyer.
Where's Rocky? I want Rocky. Show us Rocky.
Is Rocky there, Steve?
Yeah.
Second.
Okay, gonna get Rocky just for you, Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see here.
Oh, is that cute? Look at that punum.
Yeah. He's a sweet dog. He's a sweet dog. Is he a sweet dog? Hey, Rocky, are you a sweet dog?
Be careful, don't show him Alex's picture. The dog will go running.
Okay. All right.
All
Hey.
right.
Yeah. So how are you all guys all doing?
Good.
My air conditioning's not working in the truck.
Oh, geez. And where are you? Where
Where are,
There's Phil.
I'm in Fernley,
you're in
Nevada right now.
that's hot there. That's high desert.
Is Rocky there,
Wait a minute. Who's got the audio up?
Okay.
Jeff,
Is that you, Jeff?
Yeah.
Just turn off your what do you call
Browser.
it? Your browser. Just get rid of your browser. Turn off your browser. And you'll probably get rid of it. You get rid of your browser. No, you're
Quiet
fine now.
now.
You're fine now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever you did. And can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, we can hear you. Everything's fine now. Everything's fine.
Zoom.us interrupted shutdown in window. Zoom.us
I'm gonna reset it.
interrupted shutdown.
Okay.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Oh, my hair.
Oh, look who got shorn. I didn't even recognize you.
Yeah, it was getting itchy and crusty. It was all dandruffy.
Yeah, you're getting
I
like
thought for a minute there, I thought it was Robert Natali.
yeah.
Look at my hair. It just stands up like that, though. I don't like that. I'm going to cut that off.
At
Don't
least you got hair.
don't complain about it, okay?
All right.
You know. Hello there, Vernon.
Howdy.
Yeah, I was going to write you today because I got my PSA test back.
Yeah, I heard you talking about it earlier.
Yeah, no detectable PSA.
Well, you got me beat. Mine's at 0.4.
But that's still good. Anything under 0.5 is not concerning. You know, that's what he told me.
Under 5.0 is
Well,
not concerning.
No, under 0.05.
Vernon's right. If there was no cancer issues and so forth, if you just had a normal prostate, fine.
Yeah, but you have a 0.04, right? Is that what you're saying?
0.4. 0.4.
Oh, 0.4. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah,
There he
0.4.
is.
Less than 1.
Yeah.
There he
Look
is.
who's there.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey!
You know,
Welcome
it's
back.
funny.
How's the book going?
It's funny to me,
Okay, we saw it.
Robert. It's funny to me that you don't call, but you decide to call on the night that Phil is staying here.
Well, I was about to throw up, so they were my choices.
Well,
Shut up,
you
Phil.
throw up,
Shut-
don't
Phil,
throw up
Phil.
on the Colgate shirt.
Phil, hey, Phil,
What?
you're worried. Hey, Phil, you're worried about fraudulent voting. Why then do some state legislators decide that voting can only take place until 5 o'clock? Is it because it's a noted fact that only fraudulent voting takes place between, say, 5 and 7 or 5 and 8? What is it about giving out water online that has to do with fraudulent voting? I'm interested to know.
Can I answer that, Alex?
Yes,
Please.
go right ahead.
Please.
Okay. There's no problem with handing out water. There are laws that say you can't hand it out within a certain number of feet of the...
No, that's not true. That's not true. You're full of shit as usual.
No, what
it says, what the law says is that there can't be electioneering. But handing out a bottle of water without saying a word is not electioneering, now is it?
No, but you can't give anybody anything. You can't give...
says where?
Wrong,
Show
Phil.
me the law.
Show us where.
Show me the law.
Well, Georgia's got a law that says you can't hand out water. So there you go.
There you go.
Well, they
Say
have...
that again, Charlie?
Bullshit, Phil.
Texas.
What about closing the polls at 5?
Oh, you
Do
got
any fraudulent votes show up between 5 and 8?
Yes, they want to get to the bar. You know, what the fuck is wrong with you, Callie? What is wrong with you? You're a fucking asshole, you know that?
Wait a minute. Just be
5
nicer.
and 8,
Hey,
Phil.
hold on a second. Hold on.
Where are you all the fraudulent voting between
There's plenty of
5
time.
and 8?
Most states allow voting much past 5 o'clock. It's probably New Jersey because they're fixing the vote in your state.
Oh, is that a fact?
Is that a fact? Listen, to begin with, Phil, be nicer to
16
Robert,
cases
please.
of voter fraud in 160 million votes.
Natalie,
And this is a problem.
No, he's not an asshole. He is giving
he is
you...
an asshole.
Hold on a second. Phil, he's giving
Just
you...
look at that face and
no
ask
class.
yourself who's an asshole.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at it. You look like Shrek. You know that? You ever see Shrek?
Yeah, that's a great comparison.
Yeah, well, you look like him.
Phil, I don't think when you're talking about looks, you've got any bragging rights there.
Jesus Christ.
You know.
You don't answer my question, you just call me a name. So answer
You're an asshole.
my question.
No, that's...
Why
Wait a minute,
can't
Phil,
they leave
Phil,
the
wait,
polls
hold
open
on,
till
everybody.
7
Hold
or
it,
8?
hold it. Phil, he's right. He simply asked you a question, and you didn't answer
You
it.
started name calling.
I tried to tell him an answer, and
No,
he
you didn't.
No, your answer
No,
was
you
name
didn't.
calling.
What was the story here? Neutral party.
Neutral party?
Yeah.
I'm a neutral party.
What happened?
I'm marrying Robert Natali next week, so
Yeah,
I'm not neutral.
I hope he has a prostate. So anyway, I tried to answer his question,
No, you
but
didn't.
he kept busting in over me. He has
Wait a minute. Let
getting
Alan has something to say here.
So here's my neutral. I know both of these guys, and they're both okay. Here's my neutral side. Is Robert asked Phil a question. Phil tried to answer. Charlie said that he mentioned a state, I think Georgia, that says you can't
Texas,
hand out
Texas.
bottled. Wait a minute. That says you can't hand out bottled water. So the question's been answered, but then
No, that
Robert
wasn't.
jumped
Wait a minute.
in.
That wasn't an answer because they said you couldn't pass out bottled water because they decided to make that into a law. It has nothing to do with any legitimate reason why.
150 feet of
That's
the,
electioneering.
In Georgia.
and he told me I'm wrong. He doesn't know. He's an asshole.
So where did that?
Wait a minute. How is giving somebody water, especially in
Be 5 miles from the pole. You can't give them water in line.
Yeah, let's look at the
Why don't they
weather.
hose them down?
Wait a minute. Let's look at the weather across the country. Okay?
Oh, let's get the map
If
out.
we're voting and people are waiting in line to vote, I think passing out water is almost important.
Okay.
You know,
Who's giving the water out?
maybe it's just
What's
good
the difference?
Samaritans.
There's a big difference. Who's giving the water out?
What?
It doesn't matter.
Handing out the
Oh,
water.
I get
Where
it.
does the water come from?
I get it.
Does the water come from the water gods?
Oh, I get it.
From
I
Republican.
get it. I get it. So what you're saying is black people at the end of the line are so fucking stupid
Bigot.
that if a Democrat
You're
hands them a
you're
bottle of
bigot.
water, it just might win a vote.
Why are you putting black people at the end of the line? Are you a moron? Yes, you are.
Historically, they
Phil, I'll
were-
tell
Now
you
wait a minute.
why.
Now wait a minute. Phil,
I'll
again,
tell you why.
do not.
Because if you scratch you, I'll find a racist.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah. Anyway, Phil, to begin with, Don't say those things to Robert, because Robert has tried to be nice here. He's simply asking you. He's simply asking you questions. Your back is against the wall, and when your back gets against the wall, you lash out. What?
Wait, listen to me, Alex. The man is combative, and all he doesn't want to ask me a question. He wants to hit me over the head. That's what he wants.
Phil, I asked you 2 questions. The next thing you know, I was being called an asshole.
And you are.
What did asshole have to do with the 2 questions? You didn't like them because you had no answer?
I tried to answer it, and
but your answers were invalid.
Allie,
your answers were wrong.
Without any proof, you're the one that says the answers are wrong. Show me that those answers are wrong.
Show us, prove to us, Phil, hold it, Phil, prove to us that the answers are right.
Google the Georgia law.
It says that you can't hand out water within a certain distance.
No, there's no distance mentioned. You cannot hand out water in line. There's nothing
in line.
So Charlie says Phil's right, and Robert just says everybody's wrong.
Well, by the way, I want to welcome Kathleen, and now, yes, Mr. Neary.
You guys bring everybody in.
I mean, have I come into World War III or what?
No, I was eating dinner. And I had to be part of this show tonight.
I'm eating a joke.
I think I'm going to go make popcorn.
Let's try to be a little nicer.
Phil,
Yes.
Yeah, you got.
John
Let's all just take a big deep breath, you guys, and let each other kind of have their say, and don't take it so personally, okay? It's just politics.
Well, I don't think that. Quite frankly, I have to admonish you in that Natalie came on with just some very what you considered aggressive questions, but they were good, solid questions, and you all of a sudden call him an asshole because he asked the questions.
I call him an asshole because he is an asshole.
No,
but on
he's
the other
not
hand,
an asshole.
You know what?
He asked me questions in a way
Why do I waste my time with this shit?
I don't know.
See?
For fuck's sake.
You see?
He's gone. Oh, no.
We got him back, Phil, and you chased him away.
No, that's not what happened. Robert Natali is good at coming on when he wants to make his point, stab you in the back, you're totally unprepared, and then he leaves. He did the same thing to me.
No. Alan,
I'm sorry, Alan.
I disagree. I disagree with you, Alan.
I love Phil, but you're wrong.
I disagree with you.
Robert
Needs to lose money on the vaccine.
Aggressive
Phil, don't talk about him. Don't talk about him now that he's gone.
I turned Devon Booker
Don't talk about him now that he's gone.
He was trying to...
Phil, I will not put up with that. Do not talk about him when he's gone. That's not fair.
Well, I told him what I thought of him.
Okay.
Okay, so drop it.
Great, but you still didn't answer his question.
But gee, we've been waiting for him to call for the longest time, and now he'll never call again.
He'll call because I won't be here tomorrow.
Phil, you don't want to hear what we all think of you, so,
Thank
What
you.
was the question anyway?
What?
Louise.
What was the problem with him?
That all the fraud takes place then. Why do you have to ban voting from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You never answered that question.
Because I wasn't allowed to because I was being beaten over the head by the guy. Look,
You start talking about the water.
there was 2 questions asked.
Yes.
Now, not every state stops at 5 o'clock, but the results have to get in before the news is going to tell you whether they call for one state or another. So it's
according to who?
Phil, to begin with, you may not realize this, Phil, but it is against the rules of broadcasting and pretty much against the law for any kind of channels to call any election until the polls are closed.
Right. So therefore, if you close the polls at 5, now I'm not for closing the polls at 5.
Why would you close the polls at 5, Phil?
I'd be perfectly happy if the polls were open for 2 days. But the thing is, when if you call these news things want to call the state,
They don't call the states until they have. Wait a minute. They do not call the states until
Right.
the polls have closed in that state.
Right. So what happens is they want to call the state, so they call it when the polls close. Now, if the polls close at 5 in New York, let's say, that's 8 o'clock in California. So by closing the poll,
2 o'clock.
No. Wrong way. That's 3 o'clock.
the other way.
Yeah.
The other way.
No, it's 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
5 o'clock in New York.
Well, now we're working on our math skills, aren't we?
Well, and then I was incorrect about that. But it sounded like a good idea if it was 5 o'clock in New York.
Phil, all I'm saying is,
and they called it for a state.
Yeah, I do agree with you that I wanted for many years. I argued, okay, that the TV people should not start prognosticating who the winner was going to be in a presidential race until the last poll in the country had closed, which would be out in California. Forget about Hawaii. Forget about Hawaii.
About
That's,
Hawaii.
Fuck them.
That's-
Fuck them. They're Hawaii.
Don't do anything.
But the point was that I remember one year going to work. I was going to do coverage of the presidential election at this radio station in San Francisco, KMEL. And as I'm driving into work, the networks call it for Reagan. And I just went, I think I just should turn around and go back home. There's no show to do. I found that doing that was wrong, because what it did is it disenfranchised part of the country and made them insignificant.
Yeah, I would like to see that there would be no announcements until California.
Well, there wasn't this year. There wasn't for 2 days, 2 or 3 days.
Well, that's because that was the same thing almost as what happened with Gore.
Yeah, I mean, but so it was not called by anybody. I think didn't Fox,
because we didn't know who won in a lot of the close states.
Well, Georgia didn't call, but Arizona they called, Colorado they called. There was a whole bunch.
No,
of
but
states.
what I'm saying is they never gave the presidency to anybody for about 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Until Georgia came in.
Until Georgia came in, until Georgia was finalized. Yeah.
So I'm being attacked for a position that I don't hold. Because
Well, then don't stand up for it.
You should have just said that. You should have just said that you don't believe in that either.
He didn't.
Hey, Tony, this is the exact same shit I was talking about that my friends were going ballistic about on the Friday show.
What was that?
Blah, 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 blah.
These were fighting with each other.
Exactly. My friends were like, why in the fuck are you even, all they do is talk over each other. Nobody respects anybody's opinion.
For what show was this, on Friday?
Yeah, my friends were like, girl, why are you even there?
What happened on Friday? I don't remember the show.
Blah, 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 blah.
But you know what?
Tonight.
You know what I was just thinking too? Let's coming into the conversation, and I'm not sticking up for either party.
Oh, stick up for somebody for a change.
All right, but sometimes Robert comes across like a little bit of like
aggressive.
Yeah, like aggressive. Like it's like I know, and then Phil kind of tries to get aggressive back instead of like maybe I don't know. Maybe see so they're kind of like clashing with each other. Like it's almost like two guys like pushing back and forth.
Yeah,
It's
but I
like,
do think I do have to admonish Phil that he rather than come up with a answer to Bob's questions, he had a tendency to suddenly lash back, and his immediate reaction was, "You're an asshole."
Like I know people joke, right? But that wasn't like. Didn't Robert say something on time like, "Oh, I was gonna call in, but Tony was talking about his mother." He said something like that when I wasn't on the air. So you know what I can say to Bob? Fuck you.
Yeah.
How do you like that? Why don't you say it to my face?
Wrote in on.
I mean, I'm
with
just
my
joking. I'm just
mother-in-law.
joking, but you know, he could talk shit about other people, but when somebody pushes it back, he hangs up.
Yeah.
I have a question.
That's a pussy.
Okay,
man. That's what I
okay. Well,
think.
wait a minute. Hold on a second. First of all,
Kathleen eating artichokes. Are you eating artichokes?
If you
Yeah,
can't
they're
take a
from my
joke back,
garden.
don't
They're
hang up. Then, you know?
delicious.
Oh my God, I love
Like,
it.
if you
Alan
can't
said
take somebody
that
pushing back,
Alan.
he hangs up like a baby. Like, oh, I
Alan.
don't want to hear Phil anymore.
Alan.
That's bullshit.
Alan.
Now,
Don't fuck with
You're
my
on mute.
husband.
Mike's off. You're
now you're
Oh,
muted.
Your
I
mic's
called him a
off,
limp dick,
Alan.
Bob.
Mic's off.
muted in my
Your mic's off.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, it's bush league.
Your mic's
Speak
off.
louder. Speak louder.
Your mic is off.
Speak is
You're
off.
muted.
Is he muted?
Lucky you, I was muted.
Okay, go ahead.
So Robert, sorry. So Robert comes on the show.
Yeah.
First time in 2 months with a sign that says, it's kind of a joke and it's kind of cute, but says filibuster.
Right.
Yeah, I wish I thought of it.
Yeah, you know, well, okay, but it's not the kind of way you come in and start attacking somebody.
Thank you, Al.
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
and take a joke a little bit. All right, Phil's being aggressive back, but he kind
Right,
of.
but Robert has never been good with jokes. I mean, I made a comment while he was coming on a regular basis about something negative about New Jersey, and he bitched about it for a week. And that's unfortunate because,
Yeah, I mean,
you know, I meant nothing by it.
We should have in the future. They should both be required to take a couple bong hits before they come on the show.
I mean, if I could do drugs soon, why can't he?
Yeah, why
I'm ready
not?
to pop my mother's pills. The easy.
That's a bong hit for
I'm joking.
What?
bong hit for.
Yes, Jeff.
My question, and I could be totally wrong, but if I was voting, say to be president, I'm going to vote, and I say, okay, and it's going to be 6 o'clock when it closes. Except I'm already in there, and there's 200 of us. Do they kick us out?
No.
No. If you're still in line, they keep you, let you stay.
Yeah.
Right.
Supposed to.
So it
They'll pass a law against that.
will take longer.
Yeah, but the kind of thing they passed in Texas was really meant to keep blacks from voting. Okay, let's be very honest about it. You know, it is Jim Crow tactics, and it was wrong. It was definitely wrong, and I think that I don't think we need to nail down and limit the amount of things people can do when it comes to voting. We should increase them. You know, we should make sure that every American has an equal chance to vote. Yes, Charlie.
Yeah, the thing is, this was the highest turnout of voter turnout in history. We had over 150 million people vote. So what's the Republican response to that? We're going to make it harder for everybody to vote, so we'll never have 150 million people vote again.
Not what they do.
That is exactly what they did. The Attorney General of Texas admitted that if he hadn't banned all those ballots, those mail-in ballots, Trump would have lost Texas.
Look,
So they banned that to deliberately keep the vote total down in Texas.
the comparison.
I'm sorry, can I finish my point?
You know, Georgia got a lot of backlash from Coca-Cola and a number
Yes,
of.
I can't finish my point.
I thought you did.
I asked if I could finish my point.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, finish it.
Okay, so Texas is trying to pass the exact same law that Georgia passed. And there's no distances, nothing. It's period. You cannot give anybody water in line. They're trying to cut down the number of early voting days. They're trying to ban voting on Sunday. Why? Everybody in the world knows that a lot of black churches march all of their people down to vote on Sunday. So who's not going to be able to vote if they ban voting on Sunday?
Now,
Now I'm done.
I got my hand up.
I'd like to make my statement here.
Hold on. I'm joking.
Like Coca-Cola, for instance, that made an issue over Georgia passing certain voting rights issues. Now, what they found was that what Georgia had passed gave many, many more hours in the day, as well as other things, as in comparison to Maryland. Now, Maryland is Joe Biden's state, and the
Delaware.
Delaware. What does that
Are you
have
going to
do
change your argument now that it's not Maryland?
Oh, his dog died, Chad.
Biden state was didn't have anywhere near what Georgia was providing in their thing. But these the
That's a whataboutism, Phil.
I don't understand what it has to do with what Georgia did.
Yeah, what is that?
Because Georgia has even more progressive voting rights laws than Biden's state.
And before their legislature passed all these laws, they were even more progressive.
Yeah. The difference
Why are
is
they
which way is
obstructing?
it going?
Why are they obstructing? Because they lost.
No, because they want the
Because
election.
they lost, Phil.
They lost. That's why they're doing
Can
it,
I-
because they
can I-
lost.
Can I interject?
Yeah, sure.
You know what the tell is about the Republicans? They kept on saying for months and months, oh, we've got to have voter ID. We must have voter ID. So Joe Manchin brought up the, his bill. He brought it up there to the Senate, and it gave them voter ID. They voted against it. That's a tell. They don't fucking want to have anything to do with letting, people of color vote. That's what it's all about. It's simply a power grab.
What else was in that bill that they voted against?
Me.
They didn't even vote against the bill today, Phil. What they voted against was having a debate.
Yeah.
They didn't even want to debate it.
Yeah, they're just,
Isn't debate a good thing, Phil?
You would think, not my family.
Isn't debate a good
Just
thing?
know, Tony, I love you. If they kill us, I love you.
My uncle may drop dead because he can't breathe.
What the hell is going on
I
here?
told Shecky that, Alex. I'm going to order lunch to go, too, if he goes.
Tony had a lot of coffee today.
Yeah.
I'm actually drinking apple juice.
You're drinking apple
Uh-oh.
juice.
Tony
gotta say,
on
I'm
coffee.
trying-
But it's fermenting in your stomach. That's the
Exactly.
problem.
Oh,
Republicans
Leave my
said
Tony
back in
alone.
1980 that if more people vote, Republicans lose. Paul Ryrick said that in 1980.
That is
And
true.
Republicans behind closed doors have been saying that for years. If they want to
California,
win, they have to keep the number of people voting down.
California's
That's
following
what
New
they're
York.
doing.
California's following New York now. We now have our own, COVID vaccine registry that you get. That the state will issue you a little thing electronically that says that you got your vaccine.
But do you know that that's illegal in Texas?
Yeah.
Well, but it's not in California, not
No,
New
but
York.
it's illegal in Texas.
Well, Texas,
And I just don't understand that. Why you would pass anything that
because
positively.
the governor's an idiot.
Well,
Why-
that's true.
First,
Why wouldn't you want voter ID?
You know what he wants? He wants everybody in a wheelchair. That's his hope for the future.
Wheel them out in 150 degrees. Hope
Yeah.
for the best. Don't give them warning.
Sorry.
Oh, wait a minute.
You
Wait a
guys
minute.
are
Hold on.
arguing, and
Hold
I'm
on.
plugged into Dean Martin. That's Amore, and it's like a fucking John Woo movie.
Okay. Anyway, Mr. Nunn has his hand up. Fair enough. Fair
Don't
enough.
worry about it.
What this vote today tells me is a confirmation that Republicans, and this is not just recently, Republicans have adopted a policy that they don't care to govern. All they care about is power.
That's what we.
That's a good point, yeah. What's
That's a good point.
That's exactly what we think about you guys.
It doesn't matter what you think about me or I think about you. Look at the history, Phil. Look at what the Republicans have been for and what they've been against for the last 30 years.
They've been for the First Amendment. They've been for.
The First Amendment. They're for the First Amendment. Who's not for the First Amendment?
The Democrats, obviously.
Bullshit.
they're-
I'm a
they're not
Democrat.
the First
I'm
Amendment.
for the
Phil,
First Amendment.
Phil, prove to us, give us many facts here why we don't believe in the First Amendment.
Right.
If you're a woke kind of person.
No, wait a minute. Hold
What is
on a
a
second.
person?
What?
That has nothing to do
I'm
with.
awake.
It has nothing to do with Democrats.
Facebook and Twitter. They are.
They kind of suppressed
Well,
that.
how do you
That
go?
has
How do you
nothing to
go
do
from the
with
question
Democrats.
I asked you to Facebook and Twitter?
I'm not on Facebook. I'm not on Twitter.
Well, he's trying to say that who runs Facebook, right? Like, that's another thing going around.
Other people that don't agree with them off their platform, and Trump wanted to eliminate that code that allowed Facebook and Twitter to not be a news service. What was it? Once, so that they could control the.
What does this have to do with?
First
You're talking about the fact that Democrats, and we have to look upon that as
my family.
as the Democratic.
My uncle goes and went over
At the
to
as the Democratic Party, that as a whole, we are trying to do away with the First
Hey,
Amendment.
Kevin's here. How you doing, Kevin?
Hi, Kevin. It's like the old days, Kevin.
Hey, ask for.
What's Mitch McConnell so afraid of, Phil? Why does he not even want to debate voting rights?
I'm not sure. I don't think Mitch McConnell.
I'll tell you what. It's power. He has the power to block it, so he's going to.
No, I tell you something. When it comes to Mitch McConnell, I'm a little concerned about his relationship with China, and
I voted for the Chinese guy today.
You voted for Yang? Are you out of your fucking mind?
I did. My mother liked him, Alex. So she thought he was
Who
going to get
cares what your
$1,000
mother
more.
liked? Your
I
mother's
think he's a
dead,
great guy.
Tony.
But I put the
I
other
vote
guy
for him
second,
too.
Eric, the cop.
I hate him too.
I know. What I was doing a best of 5. I did it for my mom because she wanted mine because she thought she was going to get $1,000 a month.
Right
So
on.
I said, Mom,
Tony.
I'm going to do this vote for you. I was in the booth there doing it.
Right on. Yang is a great guy.
I listen to Yang, and he's in.
She thought she was going to get money. Nobody's going to give her anything. I told her. She's going to do it.
Can you believe this, Kevin? What's going on here tonight?
Yang is forward thinking.
Can you believe
She's
what's
gonna get
going
money
on
there.
here tonight, Kevin? Right, he's got his
Kevin's got the
popcorn.
Yang is one of the first guys on a national level about jobs going away, having to retrain people, and a new economy. Robotics.
I wonder if he is Chinese. I think he might be Asian.
Trucker Steve.
No.
You're in the middle of the automated trucks, with where there won't be a driver. You're familiar with that, right?
Crickets.
I don't even heard you.
Well, they're talking about eliminating truck drivers by having.
Yeah.
How are they going to get the shit there? Throw it?
Automated trucks.
They're going to throw it.
Come on, you got to drive it there. How
Driverless
do they
truck.
speed?
If that happened, truck drivers would have to be retrained for other.
Put a truck.
They got to be able to drive the shit.
You know something? This is turning into
Don't
a
worry about
thing that
everything.
is making my head just throb.
Let Steve answer.
It's just throbbing. Phil, you never answer a question. You always divert it into some other answer.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a salesman, but I asked truckers.
Yeah, well, you're not selling fucking carpet right now.
I asked them
I
again-
love Phil because he's the Houdini of answers.
Yeah, you can get out of the straitjacket without even.
Right?
The key
I
is
put my
being
trust in
calm. I'm
Phil.
telling you.
Yeah, we were talking about Yang, and I said that Yang is forward thinking. He realizes that there
Forward
is.
thinking.
Yes,
He's just
and-
what he's doing is he's what's the word I'm looking for here? He's just pandering to the crowd.
Trucker Steve a question.
You know, he's the kind of guy
He tried to answer
he's the
and he
kind of
wouldn't
guy
let
that tells you he's going to give you a chicken in every pot and he's going to kiss every baby, and I don't like those as
Not what he
answers.
says.
Not what he said. And I asked Trucker Steve a question because his industry is going to be affected by the things that Yang is talking about, which is automation. And, and so what they want to do is they want to make sure that
Trucker Steve looks really worried, doesn't he?
He's been trying to answer the question.
Yeah.
Phil won't
Okay.
let him.
Will you let him answer the question, Phil?
What is the question?
Yeah, the trucking industry.
I don't know.
About the automated trucks.
about automated trucks.
Steve, go ahead.
Steve?
The thing is, just, they are making automated trucks. You still have to have a driver with it because, for example, if you're going over Donner Pass, who's going to chain up the tires?
Ah.
Robots.
Can anybody hear that?
Yeah.
Aliens.
It's a good point.
They make chains that you could just press a button and the chains will flop out and go on. Correct?
He's got the popcorn.
No.
Kevin.
Well, that pretty well put you out to bed there, Phil.
No, there's.
He just
He's got
said
my
no.
I want my mother's
Hey,
dish.
my contention way back when you started this, how many years ago, was who's going to haul the hazmat?
Yeah.
My mother-in-law is spinning in her grave, huh, Tony?
She is. I mean, Phil's got her plate. If he breaks it, he's paying for it.
Your mother-in-law is spinning in her
Because
grave.
if I didn't vote, she was going to want me tonight in my sleep.
Yeah, I
I
think
would've dreamed of
Phil,
it.
I think
Yeah, would've
Phil
been
is
good.
confused with his bedroom.
Why
When he
didn't you
pushes a button and all the chains come out of the ceiling.
Ooh, I like that.
No, it's all the Pope cards she's got. Oh, Lord.
They don't even.
Fucking pen pouch got so many cards.
We're getting about every other word, Phil.
Get every picture.
We're getting about every other word, Phil, because every time somebody talks, you get muted.
Yeah. Well, guess what?
What?
I got news for you. Wait a minute.
Oh no, he's gonna pull a Robert and leave.
No,
Filibuster?
Go into my
no,
kitchen.
he's going
Come
to do
on.
something.
You can only wish, Tony.
What's he doing? What's he doing?
What is he doing?
What's he doing?
Taking off his
I don't
pants.
know.
If he flashes us, I'm going in my room.
What is that, Phil?
Don't fuck with Phil.
I got my.
What is that?
Here it is.
Is that an accordion or what?
I'm afraid they asked what he paid for.
That's
A
a
big ass accordion.
That's not going to help anything.
What is it? Eliza? All of a
And
sudden, he's Phil Spector over here.
Hey, be quiet a second, Tony.
Alex, you had
My
him
God,
in the
he is
I-
Phil
Hey,
I
Spector.
would
what
love
was
to see him
that?
fly on the wall when he was in your apartment. I would have loved to see that.
That's the new Enigma machine.
Really? I gotta get another apple juice because this one's
Yeah.
Have some coffee,
That
Tony.
sound is called the wall of conservatism. I'm funny in my room.
I know you're having fun. You having fun? You having fun enjoying?
I am.
And Brian, how you doing? You doing
I
okay,
like
Brian?
Hi.
Yeah,
I'm good.
And,
Having
and
dinner.
Kevin, Kevin,
I was relaxing, having dinner downstairs, and right when I saw the two coming to collide, I had to run up here and just be part of this.
The
yeah,
Holocaust.
yeah. Well,
But you haven't said much.
yeah, but now
No need to tonight. Can't even say anything.
Here's the thing. Kevin and I, and this is no secret. Josh and I and Kevin and Patrick all get together on Saturday nights, and we do a Zoom call with each other. And it's not broadcast or anything else. We just sit there and talk for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And the other night, I suggested that one night this week we're not going to do our normal panel. I'm just going to use them because it is so civil and it is so nice. And yes, we do disagree on things, but it's breathable. This is a little on the harsh side tonight, right, Kevin? Kevin's not even paying attention. He's looking at something.
Sorry, I'm watching the hockey game. It's almost over.
No, I was talking about our Saturday night discussions and how decent they are,
Yeah, it's nice.
and how smart they are, and I look forward to them. So we're gonna do one of them in place of a
while
regular show.
Phil and
this week.
Robert were going at it, we had 50 viewers on YouTube.
No, we didn't.
I'll send you the
No,
link.
I didn't.
Okay.
I like Phil.
look. I check it all the
I
time.
have not seen Phil in months.
Yeah.
He's on every Tuesday
And your
night.
point is?
Well, I haven't seen Phil in months. I like Phil. For
Yeah.
fuck's sake. Whatever.
Honey, we can have him over for Sunday dinner.
Why is everybody got to make such a big deal out of everything?
I know. God.
I fight.
They're all on their schmata.
I wonder if Robert will call back.
Well,
If he has Phil on.
Vernon and I are two people.
People like the fact that I stood up to him.
That, yeah, I think he's
Phil,
right about
Phil, that
He's
isn't what he
right about
didn't dislike. I think it gets to a point where he kind of gets agitated so much that he doesn't want to have to put up with it emotionally.
And if it could have been a very nice conversation.
If you hadn't suddenly called him an asshole. You were the
And he
first
called him
one,
Shrek,
Phil.
too.
You were the first one.
And he called him Shrek too, Alex.
You called him
Check
Shrek.
the recording.
You started out
Check
with
the
Shrek.
recording.
Which was a very
Go back
good
and
movie.
watch the show. It started out with you calling him Shrek and then calling him an asshole.
You
and
know,
he,
that
he,
should have called him
just agreed
Ratatouille.
it was a
Remember the
good
cook in
description.
Ratatouille?
he simply asked you a question.
No, he
You know, and it wasn't something like, why is this night different from all other nights? It was an
came at him and
actual...
Oh, what color are your eyes? Brown.
But
Tony's definitely had
yes,
coffee.
yes, Charlie.
I'm joking,
Let's go
actually.
to Civil Charlie, okay?
Uh-oh. No pressure here.
Yeah.
I just say, I understand Phil's agitation, not Phil, Robert's agitation, because over and over again, Phil kept dodging the question. He would not give an answer to Robert's question. And he got mad and got upset because he asked him 2 questions. All he wanted was Phil to answer the questions. And Phil goes all over the world to Timbuktu and back without answering the question.
Finishing it off with, you're an asshole.
answer the question.
Yeah, and then he starts calling him names.
Yeah, he did
Robert
not.
didn't call Phil names.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
Filibuster.
Oh,
That's
come
not a
on.
name.
That's a joke.
That's not a name. Asshole's a name.
Person-
Moron's a name. Those are 2 words that Phil used for Robert.
And it's 2 words that I believe that he is.
That doesn't... Oh.
But you're not going to get somebody to have a civil conversation with you if you call them those names.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
He didn't want to.
Sticks and stones.
Yeah. Go ahead. I dare you to call Jeff an asshole.
right now, but
Yeah. I mean, if there's any reason, if there's anybody you should never call an asshole, it's Jeff. You know. Jeff. Huh?
The
I like Phil, but Phil, you can irritate the shit out of people.
And
I
that's
kind
one
of
of his
laugh
good
at it.
points.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey,
it's my fault because I asked Phil if he wanted to come on and be on the show.
I thought that was great.
You know, and then Natalie comes on, and I'm going, why is he calling tonight? This is the one reason he doesn't call.
I heard Natalie call. I said, "This is."
You
gonna
know,
be
and so he
next
called so
Monday."
fine,
He came on to stab Phil in the
No,
back.
he came on to ask Phil those 2 questions.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Charlie, I love
Bullshit is right. Bullshit to you, Phil. That's what he came on. And he didn't start getting upset until you refused to answer the questions.
And before he left,
in the head with a bat.
no, before he left, he said, "Why do I bother?" You know, he wanted to have a conversation.
True.
He wanted to have an intelligent conversation, Phil.
And in
I mean, you ask a question, why is there fraud between 5 and 8 o'clock? And he wants to talk about what's happening in Delaware. What does that have to do with Georgia? Georgia's the one cutting down people's access to vote. I don't care if there's less access in Delaware. They're not cutting back.
Charlie, he wouldn't let me answer the question.
He let you answer. You wouldn't answer it.
You wouldn't
still
answer
haven't
it.
answered it
We're
yet.
still waiting for an answer, Phil.
Phil, he asked you a question. You could have directly answered it, but you didn't. No, you did not, Phil. Go back and listen to the show.
I told you that I didn't care if there were 2 days of polls.
You did that after he was gone, Phil.
Oh, he did
that
it.
after he was gone.
And I said, that the fact that the polls close at 5, I have nothing to do with that, and I don't necessarily support it.
But you didn't say that when he was on.
And
You know what's funny? I was telling my dad, I was talking about blah blah blah, and my friends were like, "Fuck that, MFer, blah blah blah." If he doesn't like it, he just fucking hockey pucks it off to the left, and then I there's this guy Phil, and he hasn't been on. He has to be on individually, which is sad because once he's on, everybody goes fucking ballistic on him. Good grief!
Well,
yeah,
It's like Charlie Brown on steroids.
Totally. Thank you. I love you, Tony.
I'm sorry. All
My
it
mother would
takes
be
is
so
him
happy.
to answer a question.
Alex
He
is
never
on.
answers a question. He
Oh,
goes off
shit,
and
we
makes
lost
some
Charlie.
joke, or he talks about something that's not even a connected.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Does that remind you of anybody?
What?
Vladimir Putin.
Well,
No.
Or Donald Trump.
Or Donald Trump. Yeah, you took a page out of Donald Trump, Phil.
You can ask a yes or no question, and you will never get a yes or no answer.
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
No, he wanted to beat back and forth and try to make me into an asshole. The guy is no fucking good.
Oh,
And,
Jesus. I told you, Phil, I admonished you earlier, and I hoped you would take it to heart.
All right.
When somebody isn't here, you lay off of them.
All right, I'll lay off him. But
Lights out.
And by the way, I've done that for you.
I am. Charlie, I try to answer the question. And I answered it to Alex when I was given the opportunity, which was, I am not in favor of closing the polls. And I was perfectly happy if they had them open for 2 days. And as far as
But you said that after the fact. You didn't say that while Robert was here.
Yeah, did that after, Phil.
even a chance. I wasn't. The guy just kept batting his thing at me,
He
trying.
just kept asking you the two questions over and
Repeated
over
the
again because
question
he
over and
wanted
over.
an answer.
Speak, I would have answered them.
Okay,
One
all
is,
right.
I don't care if how late the polls are open, and two, as long as there's free and fair elections, and two, if somebody wants to hand water out nonpartisan, like the
We've already been through this, Phil. We've
the
already
League of-
we've already been through it, Phil.
Can I ask
We've
a
already
question?
been through it over and over and over again.
When did I?
There's nothing in the Georgia law, Phil, that says it's okay if the League of Women Voters hand out water. They say nobody can hand out water.
Well, that's not my rule.
I know. We're not
That's
saying it
the rule
is,
that
but
the
you're a
Republicans
Republican, and
openly-
the
we're not-
Republicans made these rules.
Holy shit.
By the way, Phil, I would suggest next time you use Zoom, you go in there and take automatic audio off.
I don't
because,
have automatic.
well, I think that there's a problem because you're being muted every time somebody talks, where everybody else can talk over everybody else and they don't mute each other.
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
Huh? It's okay. I shouldn't make him stop. Yeah.
That's it.
You know what? No wonder my son's godfather, who I consider my nephew, in 4 weeks, we fly out of the country to look for property because he said, listen, not only is there going to be a race war within the United States, there's going to be an ethnicity war because of all this bullshit.
Wait, isn't a race war and an ethnicity war the same thing?
No. I mean, we have Guatemalans, Mexicans being considered whites, Asians considered
Yeah,
whites.
but wait a minute.
I mean, race and ethnicity are two different
No,
things.
they aren't.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
How many here would agree
Skin
that
color?
race and ethnicity are the same thing? Really? I'm the only one? Yeah, I'm wrong.
No,
yeah, you know what? I have people that'll
agree.
tell you differently.
Okay, well, tell us what's the difference.
Asian. Good night, Dad.
I didn't know he was there.
Gee, we've gone from Tony with good night, Mom, to now to Kathleen with a good night,
No,
Dad.
I mean Asians. I mean, I was on conference calls today where there were blacks that were like, "Holy shit!" You know, they're taking away all of our accelerated classes in the name of equity, and they're freaking out, going, "You know what? It's our own
Yeah,
people."
but
that are against
again,
us.
again,
If
it's
we
like
try and
it's
go
like with Phil.
forward, they
I asked
pull us
you,
backwards.
but I asked you to tell me what the difference is between ethnicity and race. I don't see much of a difference.
Skin color.
Well, that's race.
And they're trying.
Ethnicity is Mexican, Guatemalan, Colombian, Mexican, Asian,
Black,
North Korean,
Asian,
South
yeah,
Korean.
okay. Those are all races.
No, not to them.
No, because Koreans are.
Why should an Asian person be deemed an oppressor when they've only been in this country for 2 years?
Who calls them
How much can they get
oppressors?
oppressed in 2
Who
years?
calls them oppressors?
The teachers,
Yes.
because of their skin color.
Can I
We
ask
have a
question?
13-year-old who committed suicide because she was in a class where it was 90% black, and the teacher said, no, you are white, so you're an oppressor. And she was only one of 3 people, but she wasn't white. She had only been in this country for 2 years. And thank you, Jesus, these parents that were predominantly black paid for her funeral because they were like, oh my God, why are they saying that she's an oppressor because of the color of her skin when she's only been in this country for 2 years?
Well, isn't that
the last 250 years?
Isn't that a bully culture we're talking about there?
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Yeah, but that's bullying.
I'm sorry, that is what is happening.
Well,
you don't have kids, Alex. Alex, you don't have kids, so you don't
please
know.
don't be prejudiced against me because I don't have kids. I was
Well,
careful
I'm
where I
telling you.
let my sperm go, you know.
Well, I'm telling you, this is what's going on, and people are like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Blaine, call
This
him
is
an asshole.
America.
Call him an asshole. Maybe he'll leave.
No, I won't do that.
You know what's sad, Ben? It's almost like my sister's a school teacher. She sees a lot of this. She teaches early grades.
Oh no,
She
there's a
says
lot.
school is
Look, kids are cruel with
But
each
it's
other.
changed though. The culture's
No,
changed.
and so are teachers.
Definitely, the administrators are off the wall now, and there's
Thank you.
He's right about that.
there is so much divisiveness in politics, in the schools. That's why you can look at somebody that happens to be a registered Republican and automatically say they think this way or they think that way. That's the divisiveness.
Yeah, he's right about that's a good point.
Absolutely.
Who made it okay to be a bully for the last 4 years?
Yeah.
Exactly who
Well-
made it okay to be a bully? Who's
Yeah.
the
Can I-
biggest bully in the United States since 2016?
Can I pose a question to Phil and let him answer it?
Charlie just asked a question. Let him answer that.
Okay, simple question, Phil. Do you believe that the Republicans stand for free and fair elections? And tell me
Absolutely.
you
Yes.
do. You do.
Yes.
Well, expand on that. Explain to me why they do.
John, I believe all Americans stand for free and fair elections. Because
Do you think that, okay, can I ask a question? Could you explain to me what's going on in Arizona right now? Those people doing that
What?
audit, do they believe in a free and fair election?
why not do an audit? I mean, if the
They've
audit,
done 3 of them already, Phil.
Votes been counted.
Can I ask you another question?
What they're doing right now is against
just take
federal
over the
law.
show,
They
John.
should all be
What?
put in jail.
Yes.
All the senators of the Arizona Senate should go to jail because what they're doing is against federal law.
okay, Judge Vernon.
The ballots are in fucking Montana. Why should Arizona ballots be in Montana?
Hey, with that, hold it. Hear the music?
Already.
Yeah, that. Oh boy.
Phil,
Thank
come back.
you, Jesus.
Phil, come back. We need you to.
You wanted
Phil,
it.
come back. We need someone to beat up on.
Oh, everybody, let's all love each other, okay?
gotta show them
Thank you so much.
Hug,
Yeah.
hug.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
group-
much,
group
Phil.
Hug, group hug.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Phil. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate it. Trucker Steve, thank you for letting Phil know that you don't have automatic push button chains. Also, John Larkin, Vernon. Always great to see you. My old pal under 0.5, 0.5. Yeah, Jeff. Oh, God, we love you. You too, Charlie. And Kathleen, what can I say? Love you, dear. In spite of our...
I'm a salty broad, but I love you,
yeah,
Alex.
I know. I never take it seriously.
Good,
And-
because I paid her $10
also,
to say that.
Kevin just dumped out here, and there's Brian. He's sitting there. Thank you, Brian, for joining us tonight. We appreciate it and coming in a bit earlier
Couldn't
than
miss
you
this
intended to, because you didn't want to miss this one. Everybody, give a big wave goodbye. I'll give a big wave goodbye at you so that we can say goodbye. There they go, ladies and gentlemen. That's our citizen panel for tonight. Let me get rid of them here. Yeah. Jack Bishop is next. He's here with the intersection, and he'll be here forming a new citizen panel using Skype at GapNet Live. I shall be back again tomorrow night. There's a sports show at about 8:30, the franchise MC. I'll see you at 10:30. Same time, same station in life. And in the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? And by the way, if you haven't gotten the vaccination, get one. Be part of the party.